what is it? Let's start at the start. What is it that you're doing?
So what I'm doing is I'm standing up for our general human rights in South Africa. As a farm boy from South Africa, I take a great concern with the expropriation of land without compensation that they've changed in South Africa. That is, it's violation of our human rights, as well as the people like in the ANC, the previous president Jacob Zuma singing, "We're going to mow them down with machine guns."
Yeah.
And people like in the third biggest political party in South Africa, the EFF, how they can stand up and say we haven't called for the slaughtering of white people, at least for now,
Yeah.
or the fact that they say we're going to slit the throats of whiteness, and the hate songs of one bullet and one settler, and we're going to kill the farmer, and it's stuff like this. It doesn't get condoned, so it's completely accepted by the ANC, and it's not hidden. So I'm walking from Austin, Texas. I've started already. I've come approximately, I think it's 197 miles, and I've got another 1,300 or so to go.
Gee.
And I'm walking to the White House to raise awareness so that Americans can understand what the communist and socialist agenda that the Marxist media and the world in America is also pushing on the United States, because there's a huge similarities between what's happening in South Africa and what's happening in America itself. So it directly concerns each and every American. And what's happening in South Africa is not right, and it is. It's not even my words. Mr. Stanton himself said we're on level 6 of a genocide watch, and the things can't go any further. Why must we wait until people are being completely wiped out off the face of earth before we take action? It's time to take action. People might be saying that it's racial, but first and foremost, we're not standing there singing kill the white person. We're not the ones doing that. We are a peace-loving nation, especially myself. And I actually ask the blacks in South Africa that are tired of the killings and the murders and the corruption of South Africa to stand with me. I encourage them to stand with me. Out of a Christian love, I really would like them to stand with me and say we don't support the ANC and we don't support the EFF and the BLF who want to kill the white people. We want to stand together with them, because it's not only the white people that are specifically targeted in South Africa. However, we are suffering huge amounts of murder because we are the minority, and it's brutal murder.
Yeah.
So no, it's not a racial thing. They've made it racial, not me. The Afrikaner, as well as the white English people in South Africa, we need an immediate action plan and protection plan to be set in place, because a lot of people won't want to leave. So I'm not calling for a mass immigration of South Africans.
Yeah.
We need sanctions to be put on the ANC the same way as they put on the apartheid. And the apartheid was bad, but it's nothing compared to how bad the hatred and murder rate is in South Africa at the moment. So things need to be sorted out, as well as the asylum cases for South Africans, including myself, need to be expedited here in the USA, because we've got nowhere to go. South Africa was founded on Christian principles, and it was a beautiful nation that was running and working correctly. There were some bad things, of course, but they did sort those out. But the way it's collapsed now, it has helped nobody. And the ones that are going to have to stay are going to have to get help from abroad, because how else are they going to be assisted? Because no matter what they do, they're just called racist, and that card is going to be thrown at them for the rest of their lives. But what the people need to understand is that the very people that voted apartheid out are the same ones that are continually getting brutally murdered. And it's actually very sad to know that people go to such extremes to try prove something wrong. But I invite anybody, even if they want to troll me, I invite them to come out, man or woman, and come and face me, come and send me a message and talk to me. I mean, they've got the audacity to say that I lied about my cousin being shot through the back of the head. You know what trauma the family has gone through. And, people come with no facts and nothing. And I've made a recent couple of tweets about them, putting them in their place, and they don't know what to do because they've got no stats and they've got no facts. That's why I invite anybody to prove me wrong that there is a genocide happening in South Africa.
Would you mind explaining to me how you define genocide?
The genocide that's happening in South Africa is exactly what it is. It's not me that's come up with a word. They try to call it ethnic cleansing and stuff like that. That's just a way to hide something that's happening. The fact that they're taking a very culture away, they're taking Afrikaans out of universities, this is all the signs of a genocide, how it started. And the fact that there's 493 attacks last year on these farms and 50 brutal murders. You know yourself what type of brutal murders these are happening. They are trying to scare the Boer nation and the white people out of South Africa. So by them stripping down monuments and changing and taking everything down is clear stats that it's a genocide. And I know you struggle with the word because it's the reality that you live in, and it's human to have a little bit of denial. The fact that you can sit there and still have Wi-Fi and some things are working. Go and look at the fences that you live around, that are around your houses, that around your neighbors' houses. Where my parents live is a 10-foot fence that's electrified. They've got dogs and they've got 36 locks on their house. That is not normal. You do not live like that anywhere in the world. I mean, there's more people that are killed in South Africa on a daily basis and yearly basis than most wars in the last 25 years. That is a genocide, my friend. It's happening and it's true. And I know it's difficult to come to terms with that because that's why I'm no one special. I only decided about 2-3 months ago that I'm going to stand up and say something and I'm going to start walking. When the Lord God laid it on my heart, I said I will listen. And I also struggled with the term genocide. But the fact of the matter is, why are we on level 6 of Genocide Watch? Because it's happening, and the more we let it go, and we should start getting comfortable about talking about the genocide in South Africa. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with us. It means that we are being persecuted on the color of our skin. And even though the whites are suffering, you know how many black people are also suffering because of this. It's not just lawlessness, cutting up people and gouging their eyes out and raping them and beating children with pangas and raping children. This is not normal. First of all, they've been told promises by people like Nelson Mandela, who somehow the world was deceived, and they look at him as a god and a hero, but they don't ask the fact what he did and why was he in prison and what evil did he commit. And he committed a lot of evil. And he came out and he promised people land, and they just kept on promising them, and they couldn't keep these promises. And the land that they take led to greed. I mean, in 2007, the farm where I was renting was land claimed, and the black people came up to me, and we had a great relationship, and they said, we can no longer rent the land to you because the government is going to kill us. They have threatened us already. So the witchcraft that they are involved in, the fact that they kill lions and cut the snouts off and the paws off, and they mix it with human body parts to make that medicine we know as muti. They mix these things and they get it involved with this stuff. They're involved with witchcraft and wizardry, and it's ridiculous, and no one seems to say anything. My heart bleeds for South Africa. Every time I come onto an interview and I speak so badly about my country, I don't take pride in that. It hurts me. It actually hurts me because I was born there, I was raised there, and that Kalahari sand runs through my blood. It is who I am. And I break down afterwards and I cry and I feel that this is not right, but the truth needs to be told. So we need an immediate action plan. There's very little political opportunity to fix that country. The ANC can no longer carry on with its corruption. I mean, they've made it so corrupt that it's strange that you've even got electricity to do this interview. And you know that firsthand. I mean, the Americans don't even know what load shedding is. But the fact is that Americans are sending $500 million to fuel not only a genocide, but to fuel the pockets of the wealthy, corrupt politicians in our country that stand up and say death to the white people. So we need an immediate action plan. I will have to discuss that with the President Donald Trump, and we'll have to sit down. I do have a business plan for the people that want to leave, and I am working on a plan for the people that are staying. I know a lot of people want to separate the country and that, but the people need to realize that the barbarianism that's in South Africa is not just going to disappear, but it needs to be handled, because South Africa is setting the cornerstone. It's the cornerstone for Africa. So the problem is, the farmers are getting killed, then Africa doesn't get as much food, Eskom collapsed, Africa doesn't get as much electricity. So what happens then? Then there's going to be a mass immigration from Africa. And where do you think they're going to go? They're going to come to America, because it's the last standing country that's going to be great. I mean, Australia and all those places are great, but they can't take a massive influx of people. America can, but they don't want this influx of barbarians and people full of witchcraft, So They want the good people that come from Africa, the good people that come from South Africa. So we want the people to come into America that want to leave and have suffered these atrocities and these crimes against humanity.
Yeah.
But I also want the people to proudly be able to stay, because that's their language, comes from South Africa. Afrikaans is spoken nowhere else except in South Africa.
Yeah.
It is born and raised there, and it is founded on Christian principles, and they have the right to remain there. That land belongs to them. It doesn't belong to these people that say that they just want to take it away. Let's say I'm in Nacogdoches now. Forgive me, I don't know how to say it. I know it's the oldest town in Texas. But I'm here now, and I've booked this hotel for 3 days, and then my support vehicle will go drop me off where I've dropped my pin, where I last stopped. And then I will walk approximately between 25 and 35 miles. And then if the support vehicle needs to pick me up, they pick me up and I drop a pin on my map. I go home, and believe you me, I sleep like a baby. And I eat incredibly a lot because you burn so many calories. And then they drop me off at that pin drop again, and I start walking. So it's pretty simple. A little bit of stuff on them. You can see the rocks are in them and stuff, but the inside is a bit rough, so the feet chafe, and I've got massive blisters on my feet, and then I've also got a pair of Merrells somewhere around here, but they haven't been walked in yet. I'm keeping them for the snow days.
Your feet must...
I haven't seen a full winter in my life, and I'm about to embark on this winter journey soon,
Your feet must stink at the end of the day.
Hey. Well, at least you can't smell them through Skype, but yes, they do have a little bit of a tang to them, I would say, but it's worth it, right?